So, hello, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah, it's a nice, cool Wednesday.
It is. All
It's
right, so I
great.
guess we're gonna start. So I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Erica Granadino. I am an interpreter at Humboldt Redwood State Park. I'm actually here at Fort Humboldt to facilitate this interview, but I'm interviewing Carly Jewell, and
Hello.
he is well, you are a Latino outdoor outings leader, and it is Latino Conservation Week, so that's kind of definitely what we wanted to highlight. But she currently works at the North Coast Regional Land Trust, and you are a HSU alum as well.
Hmm.
Me too.
Oh, yay. hmm hmm
So, yeah, I don't know if you want to add a little bit more onto that or any other things you want to add on your background or work experience.
Yeah, no, that was a great intro. Thank you. I'm super excited to share a little bit about Latino Conservation Week. And like you mentioned, my work has focused on sustainable land use practices here on the North Coast. I am currently actually attending HSU as a grad student, and so my research really focuses on river otters and community science and science communication. But I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. Well, that's awesome. I didn't know you were still in school. You got
I,
this, girl. You're
thanks,
doing a lot. You're
I,
doing a lot.
I need that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, my first question, obviously we touched on it, but happy Latino Conservation Week. What does
Yeah.
this mean to you?
Yeah. Happy Latino Conservation Week, everyone.
Yay.
Um, to me, Latino Conservation Week, I think it really emphasizes the active role that the Latinx community has in the conservation movement and our passion for the outdoors through a week of activities and events. We're here, we love the outdoors, and we're stewards of the outdoors. And this is true during Latino Conservation Week, but this is true every week of the year. So I think Latino Conservation Week really recognizes and reaffirms, that importance of Latinx community in the conservation field and in the outdoors as in general.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen just like working at the park, just how diverse the population really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I really rarely saw like it was mostly a mix, and that was really beautiful to see, just like working there and being stationed, you kind of have to see the people that go in. So that
Yeah.
was really beautiful for me to see. And so I think it is really important that, we let people know that we've been here, it's not just a few people that are, it's like, no, like we've been here. There's, I've gotten interviews of people that have been coming to the park for years,
Yeah.
10 plus years. So I think it is really important to know that, we're here, we're Latino, we've been doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The second question is, you obviously have a lot of passion for what you do. So we kind of just want to dive deep a little bit on that. So how did you become inspired to study and just to do like the kind of work that you do?
Yeah, that's a funny story. I feel like fresh out of undergrad at HSU, um, I joined the California Conservation Corps. I saw like a posting on Craigslist, honestly, and I was like, sure. And so, shout out to all of those who have been in the CCC. And for those who don't really know what the CCC is, it's this work training program for youth ages 18 to 25. And it's really an opportunity for folks to um, see a little bit of like a glimpse into what natural resource work is. And the CCC has this slogan, and the slogan is hard work, low pay, and miserable conditions. And I will say that is all really true. But it was also one of the most amazing jobs I ever had. And I think it really led me down the path of natural resource work. I was in the rain pulling invasive plant species in the dunes, and I was, sweating as I was doing wildland firefighting, and I was in the rivers doing salmon habitat. And, those were just really transformative opportunities for me. And at the same time, with the CCC, I had a mentor named John Griffith, who now works for the state parks. Hey. But, you know, I think he really inspired me to engage a little more deeply in work surrounding natural resources, and certainly work around inclusion in the outdoors.
Yeah, actually, Griff is my boss.
It's true.
Yeah, no,
Great.
he's really cool. I think that's really amazing. You know, sometimes you really get connected by just doing the dirty work, like being there and like feeling it and, you know, touching it. It connects you more for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next question. What are some obstacles or stereotypes that you've had to overcome, especially, you know, being a young female Latinx, in your kind of like natural resource field?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. And, you know, I feel like I have felt internal and external struggles and obstacles, you know, as a young female Latina natural resource professional. But to be real with you, I think the most difficult obstacle that I continue to work on is this internal narrative I have of like, I don't belong, or I'm not necessarily good enough or strong enough, or, you know, whatever that dominant narrative that exists in the natural resource world, like enter that and add enough.
Yeah.
You know, and I would say overcoming that obstacle is really a continuous process for me of hearing that narrative, and then challenging that narrative in my mind. And at the end of the day, I think it really comes back to, you know, just believing in who I am. And I feel really fortunate to also have, you know, people that I work alongside of who I think have always believed in me and supported me. And I think that that's really made the difference and helped me move through some of these obstacles.
Oh, that's good. You know, it's
Yeah.
good to have like a support system. Like sometimes for me, I feel like I've had to tell myself like it's okay to have help. Like not everything you do on your own. And you know, it's okay to reach for people or just to be like, I need to talk to you for 10 minutes, like to like call a friend. And it really helps. So, you know, I think we all need a little bit of support, even when we're out here doing things on our own. And the natural resources field it's very vast, and there's, you know, it's multidisciplinary. So it's definitely about coming together and like figuring out, like, you know, a lot about geology and I know a lot about water. So like, how do we come together, you know, and like build a more inclusive and sustainable like network. And I feel like, yeah, it's super important to like, and I'm glad that you have, you know, people in your life that like support and push you, because you're awesome, girl. So
Thank you.
okay, let's go on to the next one. Question number 5 is, how did you get involved with Latino Outdoors?
Yeah, back I think in 2016, when I was in the California Conservation Corps, I was working on these community science or citizen science events where we were trying to get community members together outside to make observations of the natural world, and we were using an app called iNaturalist.
Yeah.
Maybe you know it.
Yeah.
And I was able to partner with Ruby, who was working with Latino Outdoors here in Humboldt, where I live. And, you know, I learned, this was the first time I had really heard of Latino Outdoors, but it was a chance, but it was like so great to get to partner with them. And then, you know, I continued conversations with Ruby and learned a little bit more about the organization and their mission, or our mission, which is really to inspire, engage, and connect Latino communities with the outdoors. And, you know, that really resonated with me. And one thing just kind of led to another. And now I'm an outings leader with Latino Outdoors, which is great.
Yeah, that is super cool that, you know, we have some representation here at Humboldt, because, you know, it's a very big county, and it's nice to have like people like you that are taking, you know, our Latino community like out on outings, because there's definitely a growing population here. I mean, from when I first started, like when I moved here, like 8 years ago,
Yeah.
definitely a lot more, like, you know, at least like Latinx community I've seen like grow. So it feels good. You know, I feel like I'm not as like a sore thumb sticking out as I used to feel like before, you know? So
Yeah.
I feel a little at home when I hear like some Spanish music blasting from someone's car. I'm like, cool. Like,
Like, yeah.
I'm used to this, you know?
Absolutely.
So yeah, in touching on that a little more, what is one of your most like memorable experiences as a Latino outings leader? Do you have any that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I do. I have a moment for sure that has kind of stuck with me. But last year for Latino Conservation Week, I helped organize a free kayaking event in Humboldt Bay, actually in Freshwater Slough.
Ooh.
And so, in partnership with HSU Center Activities and the North Coast Regional Land Trust, um, families came out and they could paddle through Freshwater Slough. And there was this young girl, and I was kind of behind her in the water on my kayak, and she just was kind of like safely peering over the edge, and she just like points and starts screaming, and she's like, pesca, pesca, like fish aquí. And it was, you know, she had obviously seen like a fish in this waterway, and it was this moment of kind of like discovery and joy.
Yeah.
And you know, it took me back to, I think, my childhood, like in the creek catching tadpoles or like exploring tide pools. And I think that those moments really kind of shaped who I am today. And to just see her like have this joyous moment was definitely one of the most memorable moments I've had so far.
Oh, that's a really sweet story. Like, it's very touching. Like, I'm over here like I want to see it live, you know?
Yeah.
But that's so cute. I
It
mean, I've worked with children, so like I think that when I like see into them like how I used to be, it gives me a little bit more energy, like a little more motivation to do what I like want to do, or you know, to pursue that. So that's so
absolutely.
cute.
It was
Oh.
so remarkable. Yes.
Oh, so that was you that did the kayak tours. I heard about them.
Oh,
That's
nice.
cool.
Yes.
I didn't actually get to go though, but that's cool. That like, you know, make those connections. That's cool.
Yeah, we'll hope to do it again sometime. So I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Please let me know. I'd definitely love to like go check that out.
Yeah.
And yeah, let us know when your guys' like outings are up and running again. And I know this whole COVID thing is, you know, put a lot of things on hold for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to know, and we can start sharing when that happens again.
Absolutely.
So let's see. Yeah, I guess I was kind of talking about that. Right now, there's not too much to do, but what are some ways that, you know, people can get involved like now and then maybe in the future once COVID is kind of like a little more in our history?
Yeah, you know, it's certainly, like you mentioned, really unique times with COVID. And, you know, our mission with Latino Outdoors is to connect people with the outdoors and being outside together and sharing those moments. So with social distancing, that is, you know, we're adapting a little bit to how we host events, but you know, I invite people to join us if we're hosting like a virtual event, or when we start to safely host in-person events. Come out, you know, it's a great way to hang out with us. The Latino Outdoors chapter, at least here in Humboldt, we have numerous events, you know, throughout the year. And then, you know, recently one of our LO leaders, Johanna, she just facilitated an amazing mapping nature journaling activity that you can find on social media. You can find it on Facebook or YouTube at Latino Outdoors. But it is an awesome, fun activity for a little bit of like nature mapping. It was super cool.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yeah.
I'm really into maps and stuff. I think they're really cool. I got a minor in, what is it? Geospatial analysis, and
Nice.
trust me, it's hard. It's not something that I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. So props to her. But yeah, that's so cool. I love like story maps and stuff like that, especially now that a lot of things have to be virtual. You know, we're gonna have to start coming out with more of those things. So good for her. That's awesome that you guys have that. We'll we'll try to maybe like if you can send me a link or something and we can maybe share that, because that's something we could do now.
Yeah, I'd love to. And yeah, with that, I mean, another way to get involved like in this time is to like us on social media and like share things that resonate with you. So you can, I think we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and it's either at Latino Outdoors for like our national page, but then we also have a local chapter for folks who are in the Humboldt Redwood region, and that's LO Humboldt.
LO Humboldt.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks. We'll definitely be checking in and trying to share more of your guys' stuff.
Yeah, I'll send you that link.
Yeah, please. So we're gonna move on to this other question, and this is a little bit gonna go far than what we've been talking about, because it's actually gonna tie into some of like the videos that I actually started the last one already. I did it last week, but the Leave No Trace principles. There's 7 of them. I was trying to find them in Spanish and like I couldn't find any of them, so I'm just like translated it, you know, kind of based on what it is, because it's important. You know, we have our community going out, and I've met this one man that he loves going to Women's Fed, and like him and his family will always do like a barbecue or something, and you know they'll bring like a watermelon, and like it's been twice now that I've seen like little watermelon scraps, you know, and I'm like, he probably thinks it's like compost, because you know I probably would think that too, but you know I think it's, you know, just little things of just like letting people know, like, you know, actually the wildlife will probably be attracted to it, and we don't want to get them adapted to eating human food. So like I definitely saw opportunity to like translate these sorts of like principles I mean, I wish we could do it in other languages, but you know, for my capability to do it in Spanish, I think I definitely see like an audience for it, and there's a need for it. So the second one that I'm going to do this week is the second principle of travel and stay on durable surfaces. So I know you like to camp. Griff told me, you know, you're a backpacker and all that good stuff, and a fan of the outdoors. So I mean, what more, you know, qualified person to ask this question to but you? Like, what do you do to, you know, to adhere to this principle?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is super important. I think, you know, whenever I go outside, I recognize like I'm a visitor in this place, and this place is the home to birds, bugs, animals, plants, trees, you know. So for me, I think this principle of like staying on durable surfaces really means like using areas that others have already used so that I can minimize impacts on areas that haven't yet been impacted, right? So like if I'm going to go on a hike, like I'm going to do my best to stay on the trail so that like my foot traffic won't trample the plant life that's right along the side. Or if I'm going to go camping in the backcountry and I'm looking for an area to stay the night or have a lunch break, like I'm going to look around and try to find an area that maybe looks established already, like maybe there's a fire ring, or it looks like vegetation has already been cleared from this area, because I think that it can at least consolidate our impact and keep other spaces with as minimal impact as possible while we're out there, because you know we're going to have an impact if we're going out there, but how we can do it in a way that causes the least harm and does the most good, I think is the most important part.
No, yeah, that's really important. I really like that you touched on like that you're a visitor there, and you know you want to respect that, and you started off with that. I thought that was really, that I didn't really think about that. You know, I'm just thinking like, you know, we don't want more social trails in the park, like, and it confuses people. Sometimes people will start thinking that's a trail and it'll lead you to nowhere, and you might get lost, you know. So
yeah, I mean, and you know, I'm guilty. That's happened to me before, where I get going down, I like, you know, I'm just in my hike and I like take a left, and the next thing I know, I'm like, I don't think this is the right trail, guys. We gotta turn back. Why are you guys following me?
It can totally be confusing. So thanks for touching on that principle. That was some really good insight that we got from you. And I want to do this last one in Spanish. ¿Cómo están tus gallinas?
Ellas, ellas están bien. Ahora tengo 6 gallinas y
Wow.
ellas son amables, claro. Les encantan comiendo las manzanas y caminando por el jardín conmigo, claro.
Oh.
Y tienen 4 meses de edad y todavía no tengo nombres para ellas.
Oh, ok. Eso te iba
Ah,
a preguntar si tenías nombres, pero no, no.
no, no. Sí, si alguien tiene una idea sobre un nombre, dígame, porque yo necesito ayuda.
Well, we'll be posting this, so I'm sure you'll get some recommendations for sure.
Yeah, I hope so. I need them.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, thank you so much for taking your time. I'm sure by what you're telling me, you're a busy girl. So thank you so much for taking your time to talk with us and
Yes,
share a little
all
bit more about yourself because you're
yeah.
super awesome and we want the world to know.
Thank you. You too. And
Sorry,
you know,
there's like bugs and I've been getting bit. So if you guys have been noticing me like scratching my back, all these bugs.
oh man, all right, you're out
All
here.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
well, I
thank
just
you
want to
so
say
much.
thank you to like for you and just really like Humble Redwood State Parks for making space for this conversation and like celebrating Latino Conservation Week. And I'm really appreciative to spend some time with you all.
Oh, thank you. We really appreciate you.
Of
Well,
course.
we'll hope that once, things are a little bit better and this whole COVID out, I'll totally want to go on an outing with you. So let me know. I'll be so down.
That'd be great. Yeah, we should do a LO State Parks event. That'd be
Yeah,
really
we
good.
totally should. There's
Yeah.
some really great spots there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll stay connected and I'm sure we'll catch you some other time. But thanks
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, thank
Bye,
you.
Carly.
Bye.